And now, in celebration of the season, I bring you a special presentation and entertainment about autumn. When I thinks of autumn, I always thinks of the same thing, the fall of the leaf. And this piece of music is called just that. Brings a tear to your eye when you see the leaves falling from above. And of course it's bringing in the crops. The wheatless wheat sheaf is a piece of music that reminds me of bringing in the harvest. And the crops be safely gathered in. Moving on, we got a song about bringing in the crops, about wishing people the best of the harvest. This one's called the Mask Song. Earth increase, poison, plenty, barns and guns never be empty. Vines with gust of wind, branches glowing, plants with goodly earthens bowing, plants with goodly earthens bowing. Spring comes to you at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you, plants with goodly birthings bowing, plants with goodly birthings bowing. What do they think at the time? Well, fortunately somebody's written something down which I shall now read to you. It's called Harvest. It is now harvest, and the larks must lead her young out of the nest, for scythe and sickle will down with grass and the corn. Now are the hedges full of berries, and the highways full of rogues, and the lazy limace must sleep out their dinner. The ant and the bee work for their winter provision, and after a frost the grasshopper is not seen. Butter, milk, and cheese are the labourer's diet, and a pot of good beer quickens his spirit. If there be no plague, the people are healthy, for continuous of motion is a preservation of nature. The fresh of the morning and the cool of the evening are the times of court walks, but the poor traveller treads out the whole day. Malt is now above wheat with a number of married people, and a fine shirt is better than a feast jerkin. Pears and plums are now ripe apace, and beginning of a watery substance are cause of much sickness. The pipe and the table now follow the fairs, and they that have any money make a gain of their markets. Bucks now are in season, and partridges are rowan-tailed, and a good retriever is a spaniel worth the keeping. In sum, it is a time of much worth, and, if God be well pleased, the world will thrive the better. 'Tis true, completely true. What harvest half so sweet? A song from 1613. What harvest half so sweet is as still to reap the kisses grown ripe in sowing? Kiss then my harvest queen, full garners heaping, kisses ripest when thou art green, once only reaping. And straight to be receiver of that which thou art giver, rich in bestowing. Kiss then my harvest queen, full garners heaping, kisses ripest when thou art green, once only reaping. Bringing the harvest home is always a problem, with roads being as they are. And here we have a little reading from a book called Hesperies, The Hot Cart. Come, sons of summer, by whose toil we are the lords of wine and oil, by whose tough labours and rough hands we rip up first, then reap the lands. Crowned with the ears of corn, now come, and to the pipe sing harvest home. Come forth, my lord, and see the cart, dressed up with all the country art. See here a wolfkin, there a sheet, as spotless pure as it is sweet. The horses, mares, and frisking fillies, clad all in linen, white as lilies. The harvest swains and wenches bound for joy to see the hot cart crowned. And the cart hear how the rouse of rural younglings raised a shout. Pressing before, some coming after, those with a shout and these with laughter. Some bless the cart, some kiss the sheaves, some prank them up with oaken leaves. Some cross the fill horse, some with great devotion stroke the home-born wheat. While other rustics, less attent to prayers than to merriment, run after with their breeches rent. Well on, brave boys, to your lord's hearth, glittering with fire, for wherefore your mirth ye shall see first the large and chief foundation of your feast, fat beef. With upper stories, mutton, veal, and bacon, which makes full the meal, with several dishes standing by, as here a custard, there a pie, and here all tempting frumentary. And for to make the merry cheer, there's that which drowns all care, stout beer, which freely drank to your lord's health, then to the plough, the commonwealth. Next to your flails, your fans, your fats, then to the maids with wheaten hats. To the rough sickle and crooked scythe, drink, frolic, boys, till all be blithe. Feed and grow fat, and as ye eat, be mindful that the labouring neat, as you must have their fill of meat. And know besides you must revoke the patient ox unto the yoke, and all go back unto the plough and harrow, though they are hanged up now. And you must know your Lord's word true, feed him ye must, whose food fills you. And that all this pleasure is like rain, not sent for to drown your pain, but to make it spring again. We have one last tune, the barley mow, and then that's the end of this tape.